Hi everyone, it's Kirsty from Lifting Consciousness on Monday the 7th of September 2020. I hope you're doing really well and that you've had a lovely weekend. I'm just here to give you a little Monday motivation to start off the week, and I've pulled some oracle cards for that guidance. So as always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Use your discernment with any readings or guidance. And to start off, we have the card of simplicity. So to me, this is very indicative of keeping things simple, having that simplistic attitude and outlook on life, because often we can make things more complicated than they necessarily need to be. This comes with practice often, because we get so into our way of life and into our routines, and we don't always recognize that we are complicating things where we could take a simple approach for a less stressful life. And this is obviously the image on the card is a feather, and we want things to have that lightness to it, and even in ourselves we want to be light, and we want to be full of energy, and we want to be able to have the freedom to explore what we want to explore, and just not having any worries. And I know that that's easier said than done, because life generally does come with various challenges that we have to experience, and so it's not completely escapable. However, if we're keeping things simple and having that approach to life, trying not to overburden ourselves, that can help us. Now, another card I pulled, which is from a different deck, Power of Love Activation deck, is Priorities, and this one reminds us that it is important to manifest love in situations. So going back to the Simplicity card, it's very important to keep that essence of love at the center and to see things through the eyes of love, which then brings a more positive approach as well as that simplistic approach, because anything that's maybe feeling a bit negative can cause unnecessary stress. So if we are keeping things simple and we're looking at things through the eyes of love, through the lens of love, then often we do get that fresh perspective, that more positive perspective. It's not always easy to do that, and quite often we do have to release certain things that we may have been holding on to, that have been causing stagnant energy, in order to see this new vibrant energy that is right in front of us. And the other card I've got here from the same deck is Past. So that is actually saying, through the power of love, we are able to release stagnant energy or situations in order to transform our heart space. And that's very important as well, because that ties in with keeping things simple. When we accept within ourselves that perhaps we're holding on to emotions, stagnant energy from the past, perhaps a past relationship or a past connection that hasn't worked out, but we are still holding on to emotions, and maybe we don't always realize we're doing that, because it becomes a bit of a comfort blanket. We can shield ourselves from the pain of any past hurts, because we don't want to open ourselves up to then become more vulnerable. We want to just progress forward, and we're always moving forward. However, if we're carrying the pain with us, if we're carrying that negativity with us, whether we know or whether we don't, it can then manifest into further problems for us down the line. So practicing the art of releasing stagnant energy, stagnant situations for our highest good is always good practice. And again, that goes back to the simplicity approach, because when we are lighter energetically, we are then able to focus more in a positive frame of mind in terms of where we want to head to and our goals that we want to achieve. Again, certain situations may have been holding us back in the past, and we cling on to that thought that we can never do it because I've never been able to do it in the past, so why now? But really, when you look inside yourself and recognize, okay, it didn't work out for me in the past because I was in a different place, I was in a different situation, I had a different situation going on. I was in a relationship that didn't serve me well. I was, distracted as a result of it, and I wasn't able to focus fully on what I wanted to do. And when you realise that there are other contributing factors, then it's not always about just clinging on to that emotion as a comfort blanket. It's actually clinging on to pain that is not serving us, and emotions that are not serving us and could be holding us back. So, with that, and it's not necessarily easy, but with practice, it can become an easy thing for us to do when we recognise how much it serves us to release and move forward. But there is a bittersweet energy to that, because often when we're letting go, certainly of emotion and pain, it can be very painful. It can hurt. But there's a bittersweet energy, because whilst we're shedding that stagnant emotion, stagnant energy, and recognizing, yeah, that did hurt me in the past, but I wish to let it go. I wish to release that. And a full moon is a perfect time to be doing that. So anytime there's a full moon, it's a really good opportunity to give yourself that energetic declutter. But it's often bittersweet, because we can physically purge those emotions through crying. It can manifest in many different ways for people. But ultimately, we are releasing, in whatever way, that emotion and that energy from ourselves in order for us to progress forward. So it can be bittersweet to experience that, but ultimately what we're doing is we are closing a door to open another door. And when there's a new chapter ahead of us, which we might not be able to actually see because we're still hanging on to past hurts and past emotions, then once we release, we are then faced with new, fresh opportunities. And we've given our heart space that decluttering, if you like, of the emotion, of the stagnant energy that's not serving us, in order to embrace the new, vibrant energy that is probably just around the corner for us and we don't realise. So it is important for us to do that, but recognising it can be challenging to go through and experience. This card has the blue border, which is symbolic of the throat chakra. And so there is that need for communication. And certainly when we think of releasing stagnant energy in ourselves, to move forward, it is having that honest, true communication with ourselves, with our intuition, that true check of what isn't serving me and what do I need to release for my highest good in order to move forward to this new, exciting opportunity that is ahead of me. And so with that, there could be some emotional pain that we need to experience, but only temporary, because once we've released it, we can then embrace the new. And also we learn from those life lessons as well, which is powerful moving forward on our journey. And the final card I got today for the collective is that of miracles. So this just confirms that there are miracles awaiting all of us, and we all have access to miracles in our life if we choose to embrace the opportunities and we really take that courage towards our dreams and towards our goals. And here I love it because the light is emanating from the darkness, and not only that, it's rainbow. So it's a reminder that rainbows appear after rain. So again, with the emotions that we might need to purge, we might need to release the stagnant energy, and it comes from us in a very emotional way. But in order to get to the rainbow, we need to experience the rain. So that's just a reminder that the positive outcome that can come from releasing anything that is stagnant and not serving us and what could be holding us back. So miracles await all of us. And a reminder to keep things simple in our lives in order to move forward in terms of what we want to do and what we recognise is not serving us on that journey. So I hope that finds you well, and as I say, if it resonates with you, do take the message. If it doesn't, leave it. It's a collective reading, it's general reading, and use your discernment as always. Until the next video, I wish you well for the week ahead, and take care. God bless.